Hello, Michael here. Looking today again at Psalm 73 for our devotion. This psalm, which may be subtitled, God is my strength and portion forever. Today we're focusing on verse 18 through to 20 for our exposition devotion. So let's go ahead and read those three verses. Verse 18. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castedst them down into destruction. Verse 19. How are they brought into desolation? As in a moment they are utterly consumed with terrors. In verse 20. As a dream when one awaketh, so, Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. And as we go to the exposition, let's go ahead and read verse 18 again. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Thou castest them down into destruction. And Spurgeon exposits. Verse 18. The psalmist's sorrow had culminated, not in the fact that the ungodly prospered, but that God had arranged it so. Had it happened by mere chance, he would have wondered, but could not have complained. But how the arranger of all things could so dispense his temporal favors was the vexatious question. Here, to meet the case, he sees that the divine hand purposely placed these men in prosperous and eminent circumstances, not with the intent to bless them, but the very reverse. Surely thou didst set them in slippery places. Their position was dangerous, and therefore God did not set his friends there, but his foes alone. He chose, in infinite love, a rougher but safer standing for his own beloved. Thou castest them down into destruction. The same hand which had led them up to their Turpian rock hurled them down from it. They were but elevated by judicial arrangement for the fuller execution of their doom. Eternal punishments will be all the more terrible in contrast with the former prosperity of those who are ripening for it. Taken as a whole, the case of the ungodly is horrible throughout, and their worldly joy, instead of diminishing the horror, actually renders the effect the more awful, even as the vivid lightning amid the storm does not brighten, but intensify the thick darkness which lowers around. The ascent to the fatal gallows of Haman was an essential ingredient in the terror of the sentence. Hang him thereon. If the wicked had not been raised so high, they could not have fallen so low. In verse 19 it reads, How are they brought into desolation, as in a moment? They are utterly consumed with terrors. How are they brought into desolation, as in a moment? This is an exclamation of godly wonder at the suddenness and completeness of the sinner's overthrow. Headlong is their fall, without warning, without escape, without hope of future restoration. Despite their golden chains and goodly apparel, death stays not for manners, but hurries them away, and stern justice, unbribed by their wealth, hurls them into destruction. They are utterly consumed with terrors. They have neither root nor branch left. They cease to exist among the sons of men, and in the other world there is nothing left in their former glory. Like blasted trees consumed by the lightning, they are monuments of vengeance. Like the ruins of Babylon, they reveal, in the greatness of their desolation, the judgment of the Lord against all those who unduly exalt themselves. The momentary glory of the graceless is in a moment effaced. Their loftiness is in an instant consumed. And verse 20 that reads, As a dream when one awaketh, so, Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. As a dream when one awaketh, So, O Lord, when thou awakest, thou shalt despise their image. They owe their existence and prosperity to the forbearance of God, which the psalmist compares to a sleep. But as a dream vanishes so soon as a man awakes, so the instant the Lord begins to exercise his justice and call men before him, the pomp and prosperity of proud transgressors shall melt away. When God awakes to judgment, they who despise him shall be despised. They are already such stuff as dreams are made of, but then the basest fabric shall not leave a wreck behind. Let them flaunt the little hour, poor unsubstantial sons of dreams. They will soon be gone. When the day breaketh, and the Lord awake as a mighty man out of his sleep, they will vanish away. Who cares for the wealth of dreamland? Who indeed but fools? Lord, leave us not to the madness which covets unsubstantial wealth, and ever teach us thine own true wisdom. Indeed, indeed, indeed. God, the God of justice. Trust you enjoyed the meditation. Michael here declaring yet again, Jesus is Lord. Until next time, be blessed.